head to the moon. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone. And I don't care what you think you got. It's not fair what you think you thought.
Kia ora, good evening and welcome to semi-final number 1 of the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa right here inside Porirua's Te Rauparaha Arena, where the Northern Kāhu are looking to get back to the grand final for a second year in a row, while the Whai are hoping to catch fire from deep and book their first ticket to the big dance. The Kāhu have stars across the board and the Whai can run with the best of them. It's 1v4 and it's now or never. Great to have you here with us for this one this afternoon. I'm Brooke Rusco, joined by Casey Frank. Season number 2, there's been highs, there's been lows, but it all comes down to this.
It really does. I think a fantastic year of basketball, perhaps the greatest collection of professional talent basketball has seen in New Zealand with the number of WNBA players we had. And comes to the end of the season, I think we got the right 4 teams. Certainly the Whai have played their best basketball towards the end of the season, and the Kāhu, start to finish, were fantastic.
Well, it's going to be a massive couple of days as well. It's not just this game that is going down right now. First of all, we have the Kāhu taking on the Whai Queens, and the Hoiho are straight after this at 6 p.m. tomorrow. We run it back for 3rd place. It's going to be at 3:30, and then the grand final for all the marbles to put your name on that trophy. That game is going down 6 p.m. right here tomorrow night. Now the starting 5 for the Whai are gonna want to be there, and they have a team that can go with the best of them. We look at the starting 5 right here: Wilson, Sagara, Flavel, Carling, who has been huge all year, and Dale to round it out. But Sagara, how much of a difference is she gonna make tonight? They didn't have her last time they played.
Well, if she's shooting the ball well, she can be a huge difference maker. Well, as you said, wasn't available a week ago, and that really limited the Whai's ability to get hot from deep. With her in there, she's going to stretch that defense even further, give them a better equalizer from the 3-point line, and open up driving lanes for players like Alia Wilson.
Absolutely. Now, Casey, I know you're a huge fan of McKenna Dale. You caught up with her just before this.
Well, McKenna, just a week ago, you came up against the Northern Kāhu, but now here in the Final Four, things may be a little bit different. What did you learn in that game that you might be able to use today to limit their effectiveness as a squad and come away with the victory today?
We definitely learned a lot. Obviously, Kāhu has a very deep bench. They have a lot of really good scores, but we have a really good plan in place to slow them down. Obviously, Tess had a really good game against us, so we've implemented some new things, some new defensive strategies to slow her down a little bit and play some better defense.
And for the Kāhu, they did. You mentioned Tess Madgen had a huge game. She was very effective, dropping 37 points, a league record. How can you limit her looks at the basket and keep her from having such a huge influence on the game?
Like I said before, we've been practicing this week. We have some new strategies in place that I think will slow her down a little bit.
Thanks for the time. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Well, we look at a formidable starting 5 for the Kāhu. Ledger Walker running the pack as the PG. She came halfway through the season, and they don't get much better than Tess Madgen. Tara Reeves there, Captain Penina Davison, and Amari Thomas to round it out. All-star 5, but we look at Thomas. Well, she's stretching the floor at the moment as well. She's filling it up, giving to her however you want it.
Fantastic scorer. Not the tallest player on the court by any means. She's sub 6 foot, but she might be the best post player in the league. Her footwork is impeccable, and as you mentioned, she's starting to stretch out defense with that perimeter shot as well, giving the Kāhu even more firepower.
Well, they got firepower across the board, and you spoke with Tara Reid just before this.
Well, Tara, here at the Final Four and a huge matchup against a team that you have a lot of experiences, especially recently, coming up against Michaela Cowling, who's been a key player for her. You're most likely to get a lot of that defensive assignment. What can you do to slow down her effectiveness tonight?
Yeah, Michaela, she's such a good player. I mean, super athletic, pushes the ball, so really just slowing the ball down in transition and finding her quickly up the court and, just contesting her shots. I mean, she's going to make some and miss some, just have to make the shots as hard as I can.
And you've had some success against the Five this year. That last round, possibly the best they played against you. What did you learn as a team in that game that you can take into tonight's matchup to try and get that victory to make it to the finals?
Yeah, I think just playing for 40. We have a couple lulls and lets other teams get back into the game. So I think just playing for 40, definitely our transition D wasn't the best, so that's a big focus for us tonight. And just also getting out on threes. They're known for, they are a really good 3-point shooting team. So yeah.
Appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Well, they have fought all year long. Case, let's look at the season head-to-head. What do you take away from this?
Well, the Kāhu, one of the best scoring teams, well, the best scoring team in the competition, shooting the ball great. But look at that shots per game by the Phi. That's a product of the pace with which they play. But the Kāhu have matched that pace as of late. But the big stat for me is those free throws. The Kāhu shoot more free throws per game than anyone in the competition. The Phi, almost half of that. If they don't close that gap, it is going to be very difficult for the Phi to win this game.
Well, one person who has to get going for the Phi, and she has been going all year long on both ends of the floor. All-Star 5, Defensive Player of the Year, 23 points a game. Michaela Cowling, is she the best all-round player in the league?
I think that's a very good determination. You know, she certainly is the best defender, as evidenced by her Defensive Player of the Year. But what I love about her game is that she's just lets it come to her. She doesn't force things offensively. She gets her teammates involved early, evidenced by those 4 assists per game. But when it comes time to get it buckets, she can get it done.
Well, someone else who can get buckets as well, and just fitting in like a glove with a team of stars is Tadari, 17 points, 7 rebounds a game, shooting extremely well from deep, 45% from deep as well. How good has she been this year?
Fantastic. Her game has absolutely lifted. She was on the short list for most improved players. Possibly a little bit unlucky not to get into that, but that's 17 points per game, fantastic. The way she's shooting from deep makes her such a weapon, but it's her defensive versatility that's going to be important today. She'll be matched up on Cowling, and she has to be at her best to slow them down.
Case, I'm going to let you get back there really quickly, but quickly, who have you got on this one?
It's got to be the Kāhu. All season long, they have been the best from the tip-off. I expect them to get the victory today, but they will get pushed by a very determined Phi squad.
Well, tip-off is just moments away. Nick, I'll throw this one to you.
Cheers, Brooke. Great to be here in Porirua for semi-final 1 of GJ Gardner Home's Tauihi Aotearoa. The match officials, the crew chief, Melanie O'Connor, Sam Pan, and Brad Clive. The Kāhu and the Phi, they've played 3 times this season. The Kāhu winning all 3, including just 5 days ago when Tess Madgen, the Australian Opals captain, dropped a Tauihi record 37 points to go with 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Damari Thomas, too, playing all 40 minutes of that one, dropping 28 and 10. McKenna Dale had 33. Michaela Cowling had 32, but they still couldn't get the job done. Casey went through the entire preview there, but it feels like so much is going to have to go right for the Phi, and maybe perhaps a little wrong for the Kāhu in this one.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think for the Kāhu to get beat, they're going to have to make some mistakes because, they, in my opinion, they are the best team right now. But this Phi squad, they found something a week ago. Their ability to push the pace is going to test the Kāhu, especially if they don't go deeper into their bench than they did a week ago.
Alia Wilson for mine, crucial to the Phi cause as well. No Sarah Zagera on Monday either, so her influence will be key. We are just moments away. Great atmosphere building here in Porirua, the first of 2 semi-finals. Will it be the Kāhu to book their place in tomorrow night's final, or will we have a boil over? You can see the Phi there as they bid for their first title. It's going to be the Kāhu to start things off through Ledger Walker. Finds Madgen. Splits them. Davidson. Good recovery there by Flavel.
I think Penina Davidson let the Phi off the hook there. Had a great look at the basket, instead went for the extra pass. I'd like to see her score there and force that Phi defense to pay attention to the painted area to open up those shooters outside.
It was interesting in the interview Case, McKenna Dale mentioning new defensive strategies against this Kāhu side. Perhaps we'll see it immediately.
If you're going to do it, you better do it quick because they can get on top of you fast.
Madgen in the corner, leaves it slightly short, and here come the Phi through Alia Wilson. Yeah, switches early doors. They get it to Michaela Cowling, All-Star 5 member. Now Zagara with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Davidson in front. Oh, good help D there. Ledger Walker. It's an early steal.
Crystal Ledger Walker, excellent pass to finish things off as well.
Davidson, ball movement here by the Kāhu. So we get to see our first bucket of the afternoon. Ledger Walker. And there's another turnover.
Teams on the swipes, playing those passing lanes very well.
McKenna Dale doesn't mind a 3, and that is butter.
Well, she had 8 3-pointers in the opening game of the season, and that shooting has continued year long. I love the look in transition. Nobody in her no-fly zone. She lets it fly because of it.
Gets 6 threes on Monday, gets one early here in Porirua to open the Phi's account. Oh, lovely dish from Thomas to Reed.
Te Rauparaha moving well without the basketball, and Amari Thomas, a complete player, not concentrating on her own shot, but seeing what the defense is giving her. That time losing an assist.
Whai now looking for a response. They go back to Cowling. Davidson in front. Bully ball there and doesn't get the roll. Kayla Cowling, here come the Kāhu. Playing with pace. Te Rauparaha all the way to the cup. She's got 4 quick points.
Well, on the other end, Michaela Cowling took care of Penina Davidson like that matchup, but Te Rauparaha comes back and back again. Look at the pace with which we're kicking off today, Nick.
Well, they just left Michaela Cowling wide open. Do not want to do that. And she opens her account 5-4 to the fight. Te Rauparaha with all 4 points for the Kāhu. Here's Madgen. 8 on the shot clock. Flavel in front. Strong D there by Matingaroa Flavel.
Flavel, excellent defense, doing a good job of sliding her feet, staying in front. Little surprised that the Kāhu haven't tried to activate their interior presence yet. Haven't seen that high-low action. Haven't seen post catches straight up, other than the single one for Thomas.
Speaking of Thomas, leaves it short. Only had 5 on the shot clock here. And here come the Whai again, not letting the Kāhu settle.
This pace is really nice, but matching what they did a week ago, certainly they feel comfortable playing fast.
Cowling from deep now. Just a little offline, and Reed tidies up. Kāhu just letting settle things down a touch. Ledger Walker. Thomas wide open there, but again the Whai. Hands in the cookie jar. Forcing the Kāhu to reset. Madgen. Oh, nice pass down low. Davidson, and one opportunity.
Oh, Tess Madgen, impressive with the ball in hand. The shot clock was going down, but she had great awareness, making that pass down to Penina Davidson. Taking a look at it again here, off the dribble. Penina Davidson left outside. Wilson with the smack on the arm. A good call there, off to the TAB for the 3-point play opportunity.
Can't complete it though, Penina Davidson. Again, fine, firing it down court.
They are really pushing that pace. They're going to try and run this Kāhu team tired, especially that'll pay dividends in the second half. It'll be tough early.
Flavel now. Oh, the Fire cooking with gas early from 3. They don't mind it from deep.
Only made 8 threes a week ago, and we're in that game. They've already got a couple early, and the Kāhu are going to have to go out and defend a little bit better on that 3-point arc.
Thomas down low now, and lovely pass. Davidson somehow can't get it to roll. Fire looking to build on this 2-point advantage early. Here's Wilson. Just the step on Ledger Walker. Just can't finish.
I like the aggression, though, and I like her attacking Ledger Walker. She has to be a factor for the Fire to get going.
Now Te Rauparaha picks up the foul at the other end. Zageta with her first and a trip to the TAB.
And as much as the Fire are impressive with their pace, the Kāhu are even more so. Te Rauparaha, that time with the crossover, the right to left attacking. Zageta in transition, getting that body foul, and off to the TAB for a couple of attempts and a chance to tie this ball game up and score her 5th and 6th points of the ball game.
Well, you mentioned in the pregame case, the Kāhu was at 27 free throw attempts a game to the Whai's 14. And early trips to the TAB here for the Kāhu. This is the 4th attempt for the team. Reed makes them both. Tied ball game.
The Kāhu so good at getting fouled. Part of that is their physicality. It's tough to match up with Davidson and Thomas down low, but the driving ability we see plays a big part in getting to the stripe as well.
There's Cowling again. A lovely find. Zagata up top. Can't connect though. There's another 3-point attempt. Here's the blueprint for the fight.
Yeah, they're going to let it fly, and Zagata, she'll love that look. She'll take that all day long. If she gets looks like that, she's going to start knocking them down eventually.
Thomas down low now, so hard to stop, but Zagata says no. Thomas though on the 2nd attempt.
The stick-to-itiveness paying off early. The length of Zagata taking out that shot attempt initially, but Amari Thomas, all hustle, able to get that 2nd one to go.
D there by Ledger Walker, forcing Zagata to go at it alone. Dirk Nowitzki move almost off one leg, leaves it slightly short. So the Kāhu going to build a run here. Tess Madgen to open her account after a 37-point Tauihi record on Monday. Lovely find at Te Rauparaha. You don't need to shoot it when you can find Reed in the corner.
9 points already for Te Rauparaha. Tess Madgen is setting the table fantastically for her teammates. You don't mind her not using her scoring ability when she sets the table like that.
Cowling creates distance for herself, another 3. Dale did well to get the O-board. There's going to be a foul called. Subs in as well for the Fire, Jade Kurusome.
Well, I actually thought that might have been off McKenna Dale's face, but look at Tess Madgen drive, drawing Caroline outside of the corner, and she reads the defense so well. When she sees she's got that double, that's when she kicks to the shooter, and Tara Reid is on one here in the first quarter.
Great find, Cowling off the inbound. Kurusome immediately off the bench. And just a little too aggressive there on the rebound. Kayla Cowling doesn't like the call.
Well, I actually thought she had good position and had just as much right to the ball as Tara Reid. I didn't think the box out came until Cowling basically had his hands on it. But Tara Reid's physicality in that late box out rewarded. Third personal foul on the Phi as a team already only a couple away from the bonus, none on the Kāhu.
Kāhu winning that battle at the glass, 8-5 as well. As Madgen tries to connect with Davidson. Oh, just a volleyball.
That is pretty. That is beautiful basketball. Great awareness. The first pass by Madgen on point, and then the touch pass by Davidson.
Largest lead of the game, 7, but immediately cut to 5, McKenna Dale.
Well, they're throwing it ahead, and they've just got so much time because of those quick kickouts. Defenders aren't back yet. The driving lanes are open.
Davidson again down low. Flavel in front. No whistle there. Whistle eventually, though, and another trip to the TAB awaits for Penina Davidson.
Penina Davidson telling Matarinho Ora Flavel to get into the weight room. Basted him down low. I just love the aggressiveness. She got the ball down low, and she just understands that she's got that strength advantage. A big power dribble to get closer, puts up the first one, sticks with it, gets the end one, and the Kāhu taking control of the ball game over these last few minutes.
Completes the three-point play, does Davidson. 8-point lead all of a sudden for the Kāhu. Fight in immediate need of a response here. Go to one of their imports, Alia Wilson. Crouch distance for herself. And nothing but nylon, as you say, Casey. Alia Wilson with a 3.
It's key for Alia Wilson to get involved in this game. Her scoring has to come too.
Oh, rinse and repeat for the Kāhu. Straight to the cup, absorbing the contact, a whistle, a basket, and a foul.
Tara Reid, perfect from the field, perfect from the free throw line, perfect from 3, 11 points already, 3 rebounds as well. She has come to play on a 44-point rank at the moment.
Can't complete the three-point play, put the mockers on there a bit. Casey with that foul count, 5-0 now. The Phi is unable to handle what the Kāhu are offering. Physicality. As Cowling now gets the hop on Davidson. Fair bit of ball, but a bit of hand there too, perhaps.
But good recognition by the Phi, swinging the ball around until they got the matchup they like. They're basically playing 5 out. And when Davidson's matched up on Cowling, that's just not enough foot speed for her defensively. Cowling recognized it, strong move to the basket. Davidson has to foul, and these free throw attempts are huge for the Phi to slow down that Kāhu fast break and try and get a team that's very reliant on the starters as of late into foul trouble.
And first trip to the TAB for the Fires. Cowling makes them both. Kāhu still going with their starting 5, very reliant on this group. Ledger Walker, Thomas, Reid, Madgen, and Davidson. There's 3:30 to go in the first. Here is Reid. Can she keep this going? Has a miss from the field. There's her first miss. But it's tied it up. Long rebound, Davidson. Kāhu, second chance opportunity again. Ledger Walker now looking to connect. Pinballs around, eventually tied it up by the Phi.
What a box out by McKenna Dale, and running that lane. The pace is still great. The Phi have to keep it up for 40 though.
Cowling, what a step back. Thomas tidies up. Ledger Walker. Kāhu look to get to their set. Tess Madgen screaming for it in the left corner. Off against. Madgen likes this matchup with Kurusome in front. Cowling with the help. Ball movement again though from the Kāhu. 6 on the shot clock as Davidson spins out of the cup.
Great offense though. I love the patience. I love the unselfishness by the team.
Here's this pace again by the Phi. Kurusome finds Wilson. Another 3 and another Amari Thomas rebound.
9th 3 they put up in the ball game already. Shooting pretty well, 33%, but 9 of 14 attempts from beyond the arc.
Just the 2 attempts from 3 from the Kāhu. The bulk of their damage down low. Marty Thomas, big part of that. This leaves it short again, though.
The Fire playing solid post defense, hands up, forcing the Kāhu to make shots over hands.
Kennedale with the left. And that's a few opportunities missed now by the Fires. The Kāhu bring it the other way. It's under 2 minutes to go in the first. Reggie Walker stops, props, gets it back to Davidson. Kāhu using as much time as possible. What a spin move that is. And how many missed layups? What's happened?
They're making good moves. They'll be happy with the offense that's executing, but obviously not the finishing as of yet.
Flavel in the corner now. It's a long 2. No.
It's a triple, but that's her second 3 of the ball game. This one from the other side, wing before, and her shooting ability is drawing those post players for the Kāhu out of the paint.
2-point ball game now. The Fire shooting at a 40% clip from deep. 4 from 10. It's keeping them in the contest. Imagine yet to score, and you don't see that all too often, Casey Frank.
Not very often, but it won't affect her. She's a pro. She is maybe the steadiest ship we see floating in the Tauihi season this year. She doesn't get affected by much, but what I'm impressed by is the 5. They have stuck with this game plan. For a couple minutes there, it looked like the Kāhu might be able to pull away, but they have drawn it right back into it.
We go back to Zagara as well. Kennedale with the right, and the Fire take the lead.
How about the 5? What a fight back early in this one. Have really lifted the defense as of late. The Kāhu's shooting percentages have dropped way down.
Imagine now from deep. Off to the left again. Dale tidies up. The Fire have an opportunity here. 12-second differential between game and shot clock. 2-for-1 opportunity. Alia Wilson.
And they are pushing the pace. Started with a fantastic McKenna Dale box out. And all of a sudden, we've got a lead here in the house, 22-20.
Kāhu going to use all of the clock here. Just imagine glances up. It's tipped there by Cowling on Reed. And a whistle. Fire can't believe it. But another trip to the TAB for the Kāhu. And it's Tara Reed looking to add to her impressive first quarter.
Well, just 1 foul on the Kāhu so far, 6 on the 5 now. Look at that drive by Alia Wilson. I love her aggressiveness early in this one. Dropped 12 points last round, but early here, she is doing a nice job of recognizing who she's being covered by and attacking when she's got the advantage. Have we mentioned Teron Reed? 12 points now? Make it 13.
Make it 13. What a first quarter. You got to wonder where the Kāhu might be without it.
Well, they'd be certainly 13 points less off because she is putting it together. It's really impressive. 4 for 5 from the field. Just 1 miss from the free throw line as well.
Shot clock's off. Michaela Cowling goes real early. There's still time here for the Kāhu. Imagine Ops against. What a first quarter. It's nothing to separate the Kāhu and the Whai. 22 apiece. What a start to the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Aotearoa Final Four. Welcome back to Porirua, GJ Gardner Homes, Tauihi Aotearoa, semi-final number 1. Nothing splits the Kāhu and the Whai 22 apiece. Kāhu kept in that first quarter, incredible first quarter from Tera Reid, 4 from 5. We have Whai coach Mel Bennett alongside. Mel, kia ora.
Kia ora.
What about that first quarter? What a start from your team. What did you like?
I'll tell you what I didn't like. We're not running fast enough for one like we did on Monday night, so we need to keep that pace up. Obviously, Tera had a stellar performance in that quarter, so we've adjusted by switching MC or Michaela Cowling out onto her.
It's been impressive. They haven't looked to go inside as we see Michaela Cowling drain another triple. The Kāhu haven't looked to take advantage on the interior yet. What do you have up your sleeve to try and slow them down on the post if they do?
On the post, like we practice post defense, you know, side fronting, because both Amari and Panina like to go over the left shoulder. We haven't worked on doubling down yet because we need to stay single coverage because they're all such talented athletes. So we have to just do a better job. Verticality is going to be key, and staying out of foul trouble. I mean, like 6-1 is not good.
I appreciate your time, Mel.
Thank you.
Well, fantastic insights from Coach Mel Bennett there. She really is letting us behind the curtain when she's talking about the coverage there. Access like that is extremely difficult to get and very appreciated.
And we pick it up here where the Whai have 3 seconds on the shot clock and baseline inbound. Wilson.
She doesn't know it.
Doesn't know. Eventually sends it. I was too busy worrying about Tess Madgen there. She could have actually just turned around and caught the ball.
Yeah, unfortunate, just poor recognition there as a squad. Have to have that chat before the inbound.
Thomas bulldozes her way through.
Well, she's just really attacking to that right hand. Has the ability to go to the left, but they're not forcing her that way just yet. No side fronts on the double, but one-on-one matchups are going to be tough.
Dale looks for an answer, long rebound, good hustle there by Flavel. Whai get another opportunity.
Flavel has been fantastic here in the first half, hitting from deep, and the hustle plays as well.
Now Cowling from mid-range.
Pure shot. Look at the foot speed and the quickness. Panina Davidson, she's game in that matchup, but just too much quicks from Cowling.
Whai lead by 1. What a start to the Final Four here in Porirua. Double team on Ledger Walker. Thomas, lovely find. Reid. Oh, ta-da, Reid again.
Attacking the body of Michaela Cowling, who rotated over. She doesn't like the call. She thinks she was in an excellent defensive position. I think we'll take another look at it on the replay here. But Tara Reid, 12 point, or I think maybe 13 on that bucket. But look at the drive. Look at the fake middle. Comes out, and not a lot that Michaela Cowling could have done there. Her feet were set, but the way she sort of twisted there at the end, I think made it look like she was off platform and gave the advantage to Tara Reid, who now has 15 points here in the first half.
Jodie Cameron, the Kāhu coach, likes what she's seeing there from Tara Reid. 16 of the Kāhu's 29 points, 5 or 6 from the field. And now a turnover by the Whai. Again, Casey, the Kāhu, I don't think they made a sub yet. Still with the starting 5. Reid, Davidson, Madgen, Ledger Walker, and Thomas. As Madgen gets her way to the cup, and that is where the Kāhu are having all their success. From 3 feet.
Oh my. McKenna Dale feeling some physicality there. And a week ago, there was a little bit of dislike between these two teams. And McKenna Dale was the recipient of a lot of that physicality. That time, just an unfortunate play where she got caught up, but great defense by Tara Reid to take away that opportunity.
Down 4, the fight. And the Cowling, back out, lovely move. Dale, oh, wasn't far away. Long rebound though, Wilson. Alia Wilson, they're going to say wrap around with the arm there. And the foul is on Alia Wilson. That foul count now, what is that? 8-1 on the fight.
Well, Mel Bennett's not going to be happy with this. She wants some calls at some point. Let's take a look at it, and there it is. Excellent call. Tara Reid immediately throws her hands up saying, hey, how am I supposed to defend that?
There's Madgen again, the Australian Opals captain. Quiet in the first quarter. player of her class will certainly make her presence felt. Some stage, she just gets to the cup again, rinse and repeat. The three-point opportunities are just mounting up here for the Kāhu, and Mel Bennett wants a word.
Well, she's going to take a timeout to discuss things, but look at the footwork of Tess Madgen. The recognition that McKenna Dale is using all her pace to try and get back in front, and with that footwork, able to cross back over her body, take the contact, and get the finish. I mean, Tess Madgen hasn't really injected herself into the ball game just yet. She does have 6 points, but not anywhere near the aggression we saw a week ago. There's plenty of space for her to get going.
Take a look at the Whai huddle here, and it's just got to be that foul count, right, Case? We've now got a situation where Zagera has 2 fouls, Alia Wilson has 2, Jade Kirasome has 2, Cowling with 1.
And then if it beats 44, it's a foul. So I was happy to leave that one with that one. But I'll find out about the hook. You wanting?
Yeah, and I think the foul count's 9-1. Thank you.
She thinks she's correct. It is 9-1, and look, no wonder it's a cause for concern, because a lopsided foul count like that, it's going to be hard to stay in the game.
Well, that is going to be hard to stay in the game, but you look at the types of shots they're taking. They've taken 14 threes. That's 14 times that the opposition isn't going to have a chance to foul. You look at how the Kāhu are playing. They are throwing that ball into the paint, and they are forcing the Whai to defend down there. That's why they get to the line. That's why they've got 8 attempts, and that's why they force 9 fouls. But what did we hear from the Kāhu bench on the other side, Brooke Roscoe?
Well, it's impressive. That's the first time out of the game. I was waiting to see who will pull gun first. And the Whai called the first time out of the game with a quarter and a bit gone already, but just this little patch of this second quarter, from this Kāhu, they really like it, persistent with the shots that they're getting. They missed a lot of gimmies that they thought they would make in the first. They've seen a few go through, and then on transition defense, they need a match up. There are going to be mismatches, the pace that this Whai team play at. They have to talk on mismatches, especially when Dale gets going. We saw that 3 nice and early, and then that transition break, but they like this first couple minutes.
Yeah, communication absolutely key when you're playing against a team that plays this quickly. Stat that I'm keeping an eye on right now is the rebounds. Completely even. The Whai doing an excellent job of matching the Kāhu strength down low. 15 rebounds apiece, 4 offensive each.
Yeah, identical rebound count. Don't see that all too often as the Whai move the ball around. Kirasome gets in and around. Penina Davidson's taken a blow to the nose or mouth here. This could be significant for the Kāhu. This is going to be the first sub of the afternoon.
Well, the Whai are hunting her on the perimeter. They're swinging that ball around until they get that matchup with her, and once Davidson gets it, and it's an obvious elbow to the jaw from Kirasome. Nothing ill intent in that, but sometimes you're in the line of battle. Could have been an offensive foul had it been caught. But what the Whai are doing is swinging that around until Penina Davidson's in the matchup, and then they're attacking her off the dribble with that 5 out, so there's no help in the paint.
So that brings Asia Anderson into the contest for the Kāhu. So Murray Thomas looks to pick up the work down low and adds another 2 to the Kāhu's cause.
They have to sit on that left shoulder. She's getting way too comfortable attacking that other side of the court.
Quick shot from Zagera, tidies up, then finds Cowling all alone. Can't connect on that 3. It's the 15th three-point attempt by the Whai, made 5.
Well, down 7, they need to find a little bit more efficiency from deep to keep in the ball game.
Oh, look at that. Hang time from Madgen. Here she comes.
The touch, the soft touch, unbelievable. Madgen just understands what's needed from her when. Right now, it's the ability to put the ball in the bucket.
She has 9 second quarter points. Tick over 4 minutes. It's the Whai. Turn it over as we go back to Brooke.
Yeah, just real quick for the Kāhu fans worried about Penina Davidson. She's going to be just fine. Just a loose elbow there. Split the lips. Good cut. Really good cut. Blood pouring from it, but she'll be back in a second.
So she'll be fine. Blood pouring from a split cut to the lips. Brooke Roscoe, you've gotten tough in your media career. I don't remember toughness like that when you were playing, but I like it.
What a trooper. Penina Davidson. The Kāhu go on without her. Thomas once more. Just a bit too much sauce on that one. Here come the Whai. The foul on Anderson as Alia Wilson looked to make the fast break.
Well, once again, Amari Thomas just strong on that left shoulder, driving with that right hand. Be surprised if the Whai just don't sit on that side a little bit more often. Look at her attacking Alia Wilson. Unable to get the roll that time, but then off they go. Asia Anderson reaches a little bit too much, and the foul going the other way.
And another timeout. This one was called by the Kāhu. 38 points to 29. Pushed out by 9 points now in this second quarter. The Kāhu. It's a tied ball game at 22 apiece. Listen in to Tess Madgen holding court.
You're down screening. I want you to come all the way down and then clear out if Murray's here. When you're reversing the ball, that's good. Don't come here when they pass it in. Unless you're going down, you're clogging up, your man's helping.
Try and get me on this side of the court so we all are on this side away from
Does that make sense down there? Let's set it up properly. So make sure that, Murray, you stand off the short corner, give yourself some room. So the D's there, and then you set it great. You've got to set that.
Yeah.
Set it up. Try and get it on the charge circle. That should buy you some time. You've got enough room to go straight away. Okay? On the back of Crystal.
Great access there, the Kāhu huddle. They had 28 points in the paint to the Fire's 12, Casey. 28 to 38.
Attacking that rim, and we did hear Mel Bennett earlier talking about that foul count, but it's a product of their game plan. They are attacking the rim with ease. What do you got for us, B. Roscoe?
Put through in this second quarter. You're absolutely right. They just want to get back on the rim. They're letting a lot go with their three ball, letting them off. They're trying to get back into the paint, up fake, swing, boomerangs, but get back into the paint, put it on the basket, and then let the ball fly from deep once they've got a few shots just like that.
There it is, but then just couldn't connect. Zagara.
Well, perfect execution. Zagara had the shot she wanted, couldn't hit it. Look at Thomas running the lane.
And another 2 for Thomas. And I think that might be the first double-digit lead of the afternoon. The Kāhu up by 11.
Just imagine 9 points, 4th assist. She's doing it all.
And the Fire settle for a long attempt. Really need a response. Kāhu have picked it up in the second quarter. Let's not forget it was a tie ball game, 22 apiece. At quarter time, it's 18-7 in the second quarter. It's Tess Madgen. Oh, what footwork once more.
Put her in the blender and zip it up. Well, that's fantastic effort there. The step through, getting her past the height advantage Zagara had over her.
All 11 points from Tess Madgen in the second quarter as Zagara just can't buy a bucket at the moment. The Fire tidy up, get another opportunity. Here's Cowling, Kirasum. Reed does well to stay in front. 5 on the shot clock. Zagara fires it to Kirasum. Catches Reed in the air. Great work there by the Kāhu.
The Fire executing, but the Kāhu excellent in the scramble as well, making every shot difficult.
And another foul on the Fire. It's their 10th foul now. I feel like almost all of them have resulted in trips to the TAB2 case.
And it's because, once again, where are the Kāhu? In the paint, attacking the rim, going at the body of defenders. McKenna Dale caught that time, just not in perfect position with the body and comes down with the arm. A chance for Crystal Ledger-Walker to add to the score sheet and this 13-point Kāhu lead.
Leaves the first one short at the TAB. That's the 10th free throw attempt by the Kāhu, shooting at a 70% clip compared to the Fire, which is 2.
And with Sara Zagara out of the matchup, see if the Fire don't get a little bit quicker and work their way back into this game with some speed.
A lot of ball movement here as it ends up with Cowling. Mismatch with Thomas in front. Who's up from 18 feet. He's just a little short again.
Great
Here
help
come
by,
the Kāhu at pace.
But great help by Tess Madgen, stepping in the way and taking away that driving lane that was created in the mismatch.
The work there by Flavel. Sit back for the fight. Trying not to let the Kāhu settle into their defensive system. McKenna Dale. Oh, nice spin move, McKenna Dale. But again, it's a bit too much at the rim.
Yeah, it was a nice look, unable to execute the finish once again. And it's been a pretty long dry spell for the Fire. They have to find a way to get that scoreboard ticking over, and it's not at the line. They've only got 2 attempts there.
And 7 points in 7 minutes in this second quarter for the Fire. It's Thomas, all elbows. Oh, somehow gets it back and then earns herself another trip to the TAB.
Well, if I'm Alia Wilson, I want to know why that's not an offensive foul. I'm sitting in the post. She throws the elbow into my chest, dislodges me, and gets the attempt. Take another look at it. It was right there. Tosses her back, misses that one, but then McKenna Dale, just an awkward bounce, takes away the opportunity to finish the play. Amari Thomas pounces on it. She's got double-digit figures, 10 points, third leading scorer for the Kāhu.
Yeah, the Kāhu now with 3 players in double digits. Reid with 16, Madgen 11, and Amari Thomas with 10 as the 5. And their coach Mel Bennett calls another timeout in this second quarter. Down by 14. It's been the Tess Madgen show in the second quarter and the Amari Thomas show.
Rebounds,
Just 5 minutes off the bench for the Kāhu so far.
Watch the ball yourself, okay?
Yeah, so just 5 minutes off the bench for the Kāhu so far. The Phi have to keep playing at this pace. Even though it's not working exactly the way they want to right now, they've got that 14-point deficit. If the Kāhu don't go deeper into their bench, they're gonna wear down over 40 minutes. The Phi have to stick with it, continue to race up and down the court if they want that style to pay dividends down the stretch.
It's an interesting strategy, of course, Case, given the quick turnaround. And I should say if the Kāhu make it to tomorrow night's grand final. It's best part of 24 hours to recover after 40 minutes of basketball. But, I mean, they're clearly showing this is their strategy. This is what they back, the starting 5 to get the job done.
Well, they've got a talented bench as well. There's players out there that can contribute and have contributed in large amounts throughout the season. But right now, for whatever reason, the trust isn't there. And as we head to Brooke Roscoe, who was on the other team's bench.
Yeah, listen to Jody Cameron in that one there. Have to pick the ball up earlier. Doing a good job at the moment, but pick the ball up earlier. We know how fast this Phi team like to get up. They like to get out and run. The other thing that I really like is they know who the hot person is. Madgen at the moment is getting hot. Go back to her. Go to a run strike. It was Tara Reid in the first quarter. Keep going back to Madgen until a run strike.
Thomas makes it both. Sorry, Case.
Looks like everybody's hot out there for the Kāhu. They've got 3 double-digit 4s. Whatever hand they choose, that hand seems to be blessed.
16-point ball game now. Largest lead of the afternoon for the Kāhu's. Kitasome can't get the 3-ball to go. It's been a real dry spell for the 4th seed. It's Reid now. Just to add to her tally. She's got 16 on the day. And this time the Phi rewarded, but it's last touch by McKenna Dale.
Well, McKenna Dale, late recovery, that burst of speed from Tara Reid got her the opportunity, but the gate was closed late. Look at McKenna Dale, just reaches out, might have gotten that right arm a little bit, but enough ball to make it a block and not a foul.
12 seconds on the shot clock as Madgen has it, gets the switch. Trying to get to Thomas, instead Asia Anderson. She'll give it back to Madgen with 2 on the shot clock now. Tess Madgen, can she work her magic? Almost. Cowling pushes the pace. Dale catches Anderson in the air. The Phi needed that. McKenna Dale answers.
Well, they certainly did, and once again, transition offense. That's where they're finding success. They got to get those early looks. Excellent use of the shot fake to create the space.
Dale up to 10 points now, including a couple of threes as Madgen tries to find Reid. Good work, Cowling. Kāhu get it back, and Anderson showing her skill off the bench. Kirasome's tied it up. We're going to have a jump ball, staying with the Kāhu.
Well, good hustle there by Jet Kirasome, but unable to keep possession as we see Asia Anderson with the nice footwork. Doesn't get it, but aggressive enough on the rebound to keep possession with the Kāhu here. Rebound starting to creep towards the Kāhu now. 24-20, the overall ledger in favor of the Kāhu.
Thomas puts it back to Madgen. Good time here for the Kāhu. Did lead by 16. Here come the Phi though through Alia Wilson. Dishes it off to Cowling. Splits Reid and Anderson. Flavel now trying to get the 3-ball to go. Can't connect. That's the 20th 3-point attempt case by the Phi. They've connected on 6. They go again to Mari Thomas. Dale with the help. And the Phi are rewarded for their hustle.
Got a fast break opportunity here. Should be an open shot somewhere.
Flavel eventually. Long 2. And it is a 3, excuse me.
Well, excellent ball movement. Attacking that break as they're going to take a look at the scoreboard now. Not sure exactly what's going on, but head official Melanie O'Connor has come over.
So we've got a 45-35 situation for us on Sky in the stadium. 44-36, so a point less for the Kāhu, a point extra for the Fire. So we sort this one out. Quick, smart time. Brooke Rusko's all over it.
He's in there, look at, giving it a look. He wants to see what, we should have a good scout on exactly what they're talking about then. But how about Flavel, her third triple of the ball game. She's now 3 for 5 from deep. That's been huge to keep the Fi as close as it is, and it is all about the triple. 3 for Flavel, 2 for Dale, 1 each for Cowling and Wilson. Without that 3 ball, they're nowhere in this. And Brooke Roscoe, he's been listening in. He has what that was all about.
Wow, I'm a bit of a detective down here. They're missing a free throw. They're saying that the score is actually 45. They missed a free throw. Kāhu on top of it. That 45 should change.
Well, actually, we have those stats on TV, so what we're using are the FIBA live stats that to go plug in directly. But here inside the building, it has been missed. So that has been given to them now. They got that 1 extra point. Excellent job by the Kāhu bench to stay on top of that and let the score Beavers know when a mistake has been made, and that's correctable error, so it shall be fixed shortly.
Melanie O'Connor still deep in the clipboard though. Might be on the Fi side now. Remains 36 in the stadium, 35 now statisticians.
If they're trying to figure out exactly which player I think the point belongs to. When you're shaking, I think they've given, it's Penina Davidson needs a free throw. So if Penina Davidson has the 5 and they've got it for 4 here in the stadium. So that's where the extra point should go. I've just got a perfect memory of the ball game. No, actually, I'm just looking at the FIBA live stats to see.
I was going to say, an encyclopedia of knowledge, Casey Frank. But yeah, you're absolutely right on Matingiroa Flavel, who was it? Late addition to the Fi this season. He's really come to play here this afternoon. 3 from 5 from the field, all 3-point attempts. 9 points. As now see Mel O'Connor head over to the Fi bench.
Well, this is an unfortunate turn of events for the Fi. I think they were just starting to get some dividends with that pace they were playing. This a long break for the Kāhu allows them to catch their breath and reassess here for this final minute and give a big push themselves. So breaks like this, as a player, you never like these in the middle of the game. Unfortunately, something they could do.
It's been a big old day here in New Zealand on Sky Sport, the Rugby World Cup. The All Blacks losing in pool play for the first time to the hosts, France. They have all 48 matches, 47 matches to come live on Sky Sport. Long break here, but you're absolutely right, Case. The fact that the Kāhu have only gone to Asia Anderson by virtue of Penina Davidson getting that cut to the lip, otherwise should still be out there. So this is just a huge advantage for the #1 seeds.
Yeah, what a break for the Kāhu. Not that they're by any means in bad shape, but this Fi squad, they're built for this. This is what they want, and this extra rest and recovery time, I think, is a big help for the Kāhu. Let's see if they cannot make this a bigger deficit for the Fi in this last minute than the 10 points it currently is.
So it's been changed in the stadium. That score on your screens at home is correct. 45-35, last minute of this first half. Where do the Kāhu go? Up 10, Reed to Anderson in the corner. Looks good off the hand, is good.
Oh, I love the ball movement. I love the confidence of Anderson. She's gotten her opportunity. She sees it with both hands. 13-point lead.
Hit a summon now. Oh, great D. Fletcher Walker.
She's everywhere defensively. Such an influence on the ball game in that space. She doesn't have a lot of points, but man, she affects the game. Crystal Ledger Walker can't call the player timeout. She's trying to, but you have to have the ball in hand.
He's indicating to Tess Madgen, who eventually calls it. The Sky City player timeout with 15.9 to go as we take a look at this defensive play by Crystal Ledger Walker with the left.
Well, that's how you contest properly. With a right-handed shooter, you want to contest with your left. Much easier to get those block shots and also keep from fouling, as the foul count attests, 11-2 in favor of the Kāhu in terms of they've only committed 2 of them.
It's got a 1 second differential between game and shot clock here as Ledger Walker winds things down. Madgen has a bit of distance on a defender and makes them pay.
Well, Tess Madgen, she's been so steady in this ball game. 14 points now as we have another Sky City player timeout. Excellent use of it by the Fi there with just 2 seconds left. It would have been tough to get it up the court. Now they've got a chance to get a shot in the half court. It would be huge to execute. Remember, with 1 minute left in that timeout, since that extended break, the Kāhu have scored 6 straight to extend a 10-point lead to 16. It would be huge for the Phi to get a bucket here.
Tess Madgen was none from 5 in the first quarter. She hasn't missed in the second. 6 from 11, 14 points as Cowling puts up a prayer. Just leaves it short. That'll do it for the first half. What a second quarter it was by the Northern Kāhu. They are 20 minutes away booking their spot in the grand final. It was 22 apiece in that first quarter. They now lead by 16.
Well, the Kāhu have responded so well to the pace of the Phi, the intensity of Phi. It was an excellent job by them to take that punch and counterpunch after that. And right now we've got Brooke Roscoe, who is ready to chat with Michaela Cowling, and we will hear from him right now.
Right now at halftime, you guys getting some good looks, but missing some gimmies.
Yeah, I mean, we're a shooting team, so we're gonna definitely keep shooting those. We still keep shooting those shots.
How do you guys get this one back in the second?
You know, just be patient. I know some things aren't falling for us right now. They're hitting some good shots, and just stay to our game plan and stay true to ourselves.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Estara Reed makes her way in here as well. You were aggressive from the jump. You got 15 points right now, but you got busy nice and early.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I need to do for my team to get us going, just attacking and being physical first.
You guys switched something up in the second quarter. Big second quarter from you guys, 16-point lead going into half. What changed?
I think, you know, just we want to play hard for 40, so just making sure we're intent and disciplined throughout the whole time.
Well, good luck in the second half.
The thoughts there of Michaela Cowling and the Phi and Tara Reid of the Kāhu. It's the Kāhu who lead 51 points to 35. We'll take a short break here on Sky Sport on the other side, the second half.
Welcome back to halftime here at Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa semi-final #1 as the Kāhu look good right now, 51-35 over the Whai. So look at the Kāhu right here, and we'll jump over to the Whai locker room really quickly as well. But what do you think the Whai will be talking about right now, Case?
Well, it's just got to be stick to the game plan. We have to do a good job of believing in ourselves and what we've done. We haven't got the fruits of our labor just yet, but if we stay with this pace, eventually things are going to go our way.
Well, one person who has got the fruits of her labor in that first half was Tauihi. She got busy nice and early, did a good job of getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, hitting a three as well, but great first half from her.
And moving without the basketball, and the Kāhu, as you mentioned in the first half, they look for the high hand. Who's got it? They want to keep feeding it. See that 16 points, attacking the rim, finding the range from deep. Her teammates are looking for, and the efficiency with which she's playing, 71% from the field. Fantastic to get production like that from Tauihi.
Yeah, great points. Moving without the ball, the efficiency there as well. And one person that the Whai are going to need in the second half, and we expect nothing less. She's part of the All-Star 5 Defensive Player of the Year as well, is Michaela Cowley. Now, she's getting some good looks, some misses that she'd normally make. How does she step this one up in the second?
Well, what the Whai are doing right now is finding her when she has those mismatches. When she's got the ability in those early transitions, she has to attack. But it can't just be when she has the mismatch. It can't just be when Thomas is on or Davidson on her. She's going to have to carry a bigger load. The deficit is going too big. If it gets any bigger, I don't know if the Whai have the ability to come back from 20 points down against a Kāhu Todd that is this talented.
Yeah, absolutely right. The bad boy isn't over just yet as we look at the stats of the first half. Case, how do you break this one down? Because on one side, the team is shooting the lights out.
Well, I do love the Whai and the way they play fast and the way they play from deep, but 7 for 22, over half their shots from deep. They need to find a way to be more efficient. They can't just chuck it up from deep because of the efficiency with which the Kāhu are playing. And that 10 for 13 from the free throw line, that was my big watch out stat in the first half. With that 11 free throw discrepancy, if the Whai can't find a way to close that gap, it's going to be very difficult for them to get back in the ballgame.
Well, the game isn't over just yet. Second half, we will be back right after the break.
Welcome back to Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua. Half-time with the Northern Kāhu, the top seeds, and GJ Gardner Home's Tauihi Aotearoa lead the Whai 51 points to 35. 16-point advantage in that second quarter for the Kāhu. Crowd building here, of course, is the first of two semi-finals at 6 o'clock. It'll be the Toko Manawa Queens, the defending champs, the hometown hopes, against the Southern Hoiho. And for now, our attention lies with the second half of this one, the Kāhu and the Whai. Interesting case, the Whai are going with a 6-player rotation. Sarah Zagera didn't play on Monday when these two teams played each other. She's been limited to just a tick under 10 minutes in that first half, and none from 5 Israel from the field. Is she still troubled perhaps by that injury?
She's not looking full strength to me. She's looking a little bit slow, but I think the biggest problem is that the Whai look faster when she's out of the lineup. And when you hear Mel Bennett speak, she wants the speed. The speed's the key, and if Zagara isn't able to find that range from deep and be a real influence offensively, I think they will continue to go to Flavel because of what she's been able to give them from beyond the arc.
Conversely, for the Kāhu, we didn't see Penina Davidson after that blow to the face. I think that was from Jade Kirasome. She took a drive to the cup there, but credit to Asia Anderson, really stepped up, and you know, a lot of it's obviously gone through Tess Madgen and Murray Thomas, but Asia Anderson's held her own.
Well, Jodie Cameron, she's relying on the starters, but she's got a talented bench. There's plenty of players out there. To a ET, she can certainly give them some skill. What we've seen, of course, from Asia Anderson, she's been able to deliver. Tamilo has at times been really good. So there's players over there that if she wants to call them, they can. I'd be a little surprised if she doesn't go deeper into the bench here in the second half. If they do win, if they are able to complete this victory, they're going to have another game in just about 24 hours, and every second of rest you can give your key players is going to become even more valuable in that matchup.
Well, interesting though, Penina Davidson back on the court for the Kāhu. So both teams back out and rolling with their starting fives, with Zagera for the Whai as well. Can the Whai work themselves back into this one? Basketball is here all the time, a game of runs, ebbs and flows. And there's an early turnover for the Whai, much needed.
And great activity from Zagara, her ability on the ball. That's the kind of speed and quickness and intensity she needs to continue to play with.
Let's see if the Whai have a change of strategy here. He's put up 22 three-point attempts in that first half, 22 of 40 attempts from the field. Tough shot there, though, by Alia Wilson.
What a win for Amari Thomas in that matchup, able to keep Alia Wilson from getting to where she wants to go and force the miss.
Reed back to Madgen. Crushes into, I think it all, Flavel. No call, and then an air ball from Madgen, so the Whai will get it back.
Good look, though. You like the execution. They were able to create a wide open shot. Unfortunately for the Kāhu, didn't knock it, but the Whai, they need to play better defense than that. They can't give those kind of looks to a player of that caliber.
Take a look at the replay there.
She trucked in the paint.
Court tied it up there. And we're going to get it back underway here as the Whai with possession. They change to the halftime score. Zagara with it up top. There's Cowling now. Dale is another three. This looks good offhand. Just a little long. Good contest though by Zagara.
The hustle, the extra hustle, exactly what the Whai need not to convert.
Another three-point attempt though by the Whai. And that one wayward.
Nothing but triples right now. 7 for 24 from deep. They dripped underneath 30% to 29.
Well, they put up 38 on Monday. As they go back to Amari Thomas, the Kāhu, and they're on the board for the second half.
Thomas is just so tough in the post as Wilson gets the end one in transition. The speed with which the Whai can attack, at their best, they are lightning quick.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Case, that's the first three-point potential opportunity for the Whai. They've been to the TAB stripe once, shooting 2. This will be their third of the game.
How about that? They can actually get there. The attack on the rim gives them a chance. If they aren't so reliant on that three-point shot, they'll get more opportunities like Wilson was able to convert on that opportunity.
Perhaps a blueprint there for the fight rather than Slightly predictable, one-dimensional with the three-point shot is Magin. Gets past Dale again, just so tough.
And
Magin.
so much strength. I mean, she's given up a bit of size to Dale, but it didn't look like that on that finish.
Complete miscommunication there, but I think it off level. She's upset at herself. She knows she should have converted there. Good hands. McKenna Dale now to the 5, picking the pockets of the Kāhu on a couple of occasions here early in the third. As Wilson looks to get to the cup, clean lane, and a quick 4 points for 5 points, excuse me, Alia Wilson.
And gave up the three-point shot, had a wide open look to attack the lane. I like the mindset, be aggressive, attack the paint, force this Kāhu team to defend.
Tara Reid now just blows past Flavel. She's up to 18 points, 6 from 8 from the field, Tara Reid.
Explosive first step there, creating all that advantage on that first move.
McKenna Dale, you felt like, Case, if she didn't hit that, Mel Bennett would have been fuming. But that is the class of McKenna Dale.
Yeah, I think, well, Mel Bennett, she knows. She wants three, she wants speed. And McKenna Dale, when you've got a shooter of her caliber, you let that thing fly. Even if it's off, it might be good eventually.
That was just such a quick in the shot clock for mine, but you can see why. And now on the other end, Penina Davidson just forces her way. Whistle and a foul, and another trip to the TAB.
She just recognizing what is available to her. That floor was extremely spread out. Nobody in the paint as we take another look at McKenna Dale with the little jab step, creating the space. And on the other end, Penina Davidson sees a wide open lane, goes one way. Dale has to use so much of her strength to keep Davidson out of the paint. When she slides over, opens up the space for that spin move finish, and one opportunity completed.
And interestingly too, it's McKenna Dale's 4th foul, so 2 more, and she is gone.
And that's one of them right there. She gets the cheap elbow on Tara Reid, and this is going to severely impact the 5 moving forward. From our angle, it looked like Tara Reid created that contact, throwing the elbow first. As we take another look at it, Cowley loses the ball, Tara Reid gets in there, and she just throws the elbow up. Pretty unlucky for McKenna Dale there to get that whistle called. Looked like, to me, Tara Reid created that activity by flinging her arm about.
Matangiroa Flavel, her break on the bench lasted all of about 30 seconds. She's back in the ball game as Tess Madgen just gets Jay Kirasumi in and out of the way, and that's another 2.
Gives her the power guard move. As Alia Wilson back to the cup, she is energized here in the third quarter.
Well, Alia Wilson has just seen what the Kāhu have been doing all first half and said, I'll have some of that for myself, as the Amari Thomas 2 in and out, but it will be a trip to the TAB, shooting free throws 15 and 16 of the ball game.
How about that hustle? Alia Wilson on one end gets all the way down. First we see Tess Madgen giving her the too small on one end. Down here, Alia Wilson's the last one back. Somehow she was the one matched up with Amari Thomas on the other end of the court. That's a bad job defensively by the 5 guards. When Alia Wilson drives, somebody else has to be the first one. Otherwise, it's too easy. You can get a lob like they got there.
Mari Thomas makes them both. She's up to 16 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Alia Wilson showing the fight away in the third. Michaela Cowling, how did that not go in? It's a bit too much. And a foul. That's going to go on Tess Madgen. Good hustle there by Kirasumi.
The hustle has to be there. They're down 19 points if they don't outwork the Kāhu, and that is no easy feat. If they don't outwork the Kāhu, that they're not going to be able to get back in this ball game.
Cowling. Oh, lovely find. Kirasumi just can't finish with the left. It pinballs around. Eventually, Amari Thomas hauls in her 9th rebound. Tara Reid now. Again, finding a way to the cup and earning a whistle and a foul. Trip to the TAB, rinse and repeat.
The 5 just aren't doing a good enough job of building a wall. On these one-on-one penetrations, there's no weak side help, and the help's not coming. Not even when these players are all the way at the rim. You're gonna have to pinch further, deeper away from that next pass to take away these driving lanes, because right now it is too easy offensively for the Kāhu, especially in those transition or semi-transition opportunities.
Well, Tara Reid had 26 points against the Whai in a 100-74 win. That was mid-season, back on the 17th of August. Just looking to match or potentially eclipse that this afternoon, up to 19 points, leading all scorers. Tess Madgen with 18, Amari Thomas with 16. Where did the fight go? Alia Wilson has had some success in the third. Kirasome back to Alia Wilson now, Madgen in front. Wilson, too much again, forced into a tough look.
Excellent defense by the Kāhu, rotating well. Everyone's on a string. Everyone's communicating. They are locked in on that end.
Reed Thomas now from three. Hits the backboard. Davidson tidies up. Go back to Thomas down low. Good work by, not thinking it off, Flavel.
How's that stay with the Kāhu? That was certainly off the hand of Amari Thomas. Great defense there by Flavel. First challenging the shot outside. Did she get that? I thought Thomas hit it left, but I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Fire it back to Madgen. Imagine she'll be aware of the shot clock situation. Oh, Davidson just using her advantage there, just hauls it in over Kirasome.
They're just too big. Jade Kirasome, she could box out for a decade, not be able to push her out of the way.
And now adds a 2, and the Whai want a timeout. This is out to 22 points now for the Whai. They are in a hole.
That movement without the basketball, what a cut by Penina Davidson, recognizing the size advantage she had, and just a really strong, powerful front cut, cutting through the middle there. Tess Madgen, she's calling for that movement, she sees that movement, and she rewards Penina Davidson for that play off the ball.
Just one rebound away from a double-double to Penina Davidson, even with that blow in the second quarter, as we take a listen in the Whai huddle.
Hey, we have to pick it up here, all right? Yeah. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, stay together, let's go. 5 on 3, 1, 2, 3. 5. Let's go, keep it positive.
Well, she's not wrong. You're down 22, you do have to pick it up. You have to try and find a way. On the other end, Brooke Roscoe, what do we have from the Kāhu? Hold on, Brooke Roscoe, didn't have you yet. Didn't have you yet, Brooke Roscoe, so now we are about to throw it to you.
We'll hopefully get to Brooke at some stage.
Turns out his mic's off. He's getting a little help from our audio squad right now. So now, Brooke Roscoe, what did the Kāhu have going there?
I'll tell you what, I nailed the first one. So here we go again. Kāhu love what they're doing on the defensive end, though. They're standing up for each other. They're working on that weak side. Everything's working. Then on the other end, they need to get it going and get someone else in foul trouble. Obviously, Dale has found herself in foul trouble. Who can we go and get in next? And then it's rest for tomorrow night.
Well, not much rest for these starters, though. Everybody else on the bench is getting plenty of it.
It's Kirasome now from three, a little long. First minutes of the ball game, too, of Alyssa Hirawani on the court for the fight. No Zagara, and of course no McKenna Dale, who is on 5 fouls. Good steal there, though, by Kirasome. Here come the fight. 4 on 2 here, gotta make it count. Hirawani ends up with it. No look pass to Cowling.
Oh, the scramble defense is fantastic. The Kāhu aren't giving up on any play at all. They're just all hustle.
Here's Cowling now with Madgen in front. Oh, what work by the Kāhu. You wouldn't think they're down 22.
Masterclass defensively. Fought their way back into that play and didn't even let the Whai get up a shot. They had a 3-on-1 break.
Now Penina Davidson down low, just bullies away to add 2. That's 12 points for Penina Davidson. Hirawani, she hit from deep. It's dried up again for the Whai. Hustle there, though, by Cowling, and a foul on Ledger Walker.
The lack of interior force has been a problem for the Whai all season long. At times, teams have gotten on top of them. They fought so well in that first quarter, but as this game has gone on, they have just been worn down on the interior. They're now down 11 in the rebound count, 36-25. We see the free throw discrepancy. 18 free throws to 3 are the attempts, as we see an offensive foul called on Alia Wilson on the screen, as it is just, must just feel like everything is against the Whai at the moment, down 24 with 13-27 to play in the game.
Interesting there, though, Case, to see Aotea Leach into the ball game for the first time for the Kāhu, so perhaps a first sign there of Jodie Cameron starting to think about tomorrow. Sarah Reid. Oh, how has she got that up and in? It's Tara Reid's world. We're all living in it.
Well, I love the finish by Tara Reid. Excellent recognition. I don't think it's a foul. I thought she created all that contact running into Flavel, who was in pretty good defensive position. But Tara Reid is able to get that whistle because of the aggressiveness with which she and her Kāhu teammates are playing. She had that huge first quarter, did Tara Reid, when she dropped, I believe it was 13 in the first quarter. So she slowed down a little bit since then. Still playing fantastically, up to 21 points now.
Can she make it 22? Push the Kāhu up by 27. She does just that. Where to from here for the fight? Verging on a miracle. Flavel. Oh, what hustle by Reid. And I think that was last touch by Cowling. It was off her foot. Tara Reid getting it done on both ends.
Well, playing on that high side, gets a hand on the ball to deflect it, and then doesn't give up on the play, hustles out, knocks it off Cowling's foot as well. Doing it on both ends, Tara Reid.
Here she is again, leading all scorers with 22, Tara Reid. Stripped though by Michaela Cowling, Defensive Player of the Year. Can't finish though. Great work to get back by Tess Madgen, who now finds Tara Reid. Oh, what a step. Oh, just couldn't finish.
Well, I love the footwork though, and love the pace. The Kāhu not giving up anything. It's a beautiful look. Unfortunately, leads to another turnover. The 5, just a little bit sloppy at the moment.
Forcing it, you can understand why, as Madgen finds Davidson. And this is turning into a bit of a statement by the Kāhu. Of course, the Tokomanawa Queens and the Southern Hoiho coming up after this in the second semi-final. They'll be watching this and going, gee whiz, how do we stop the Kāhu if we get there tomorrow night?
Well, Flavel lets another one fly from deep. A week ago, this 5 squad was just unable to be separated from. They just would not let the Kāhu pull away, but this determined Kāhu squad, they have no interest in keeping this one close going into the 4th.
Here's Madgen with it now, pulls up 10 feet. Davidson gets the rebound, no call. Here come the fight through Kirasome.
And at this point, if I'm the 5, I need to execute. I can't get another rush shot that misses. Instead, a layup from Cowling, that'll work.
That's just her 4th field goal of the ball game, up to 11 points, but 4 from 15 from Michaela Cowling. The Kāhu have done an excellent job on her.
They have been focused on her every time she catches the ball, or her teammates are looking for multiple blue jerseys around her.
Work there by Kirasome to get in the way. And subs are in, interestingly, for the Kāhu. 2 starters back in Ledger Walker and Thomas for... In fact, we're going to go to a timeout with 1:10 to play in the 3rd as we take a look at the GJ Gardner Holmes replay here at Cowling.
Yeah, you see how on that handoff, Asia Anderson was unable to get back in front of Cowling. She feels that defender on her hip and just drives straight to the cup. And that's when they found their most success here in the second half, is attacking the rim. Just 8 for 29 from deep today. They hit 8 threes a week ago. They need to hit maybe another 8 to get back into this one.
Well, it was a 16-point lead at the half. It's now blown out to 27. As we take a look at the Kāhu huddle, and now the fight, and it's assistant coach Alex Stalkovich holding court.
As we toss over to Brooke Roscoe, who is listening into the Kāhu huddle, and he's got a bit for us now. What do you got, Brooke?
Same thing as usual. Business as usual. This team right here is like a Ferrari, and they're finally hitting into that gear, and we see it in this, well, we saw it at the end of the second, and they've continued it into the 3rd. Can they continue to push? Interesting one for me that they put Ledger Walker and Thomas back out there with the lead that they have, knowing that tomorrow's going to be another massive game. So now who's going to play these big minutes? How long is Madgen going to be out there? Davidson makes her way onto the bench. There's a lot of big minutes still here in this quarter and a bit to go before tomorrow night's game, so how much of the bench is going to play?
Yeah, if I'm Coach Jody Cameron, I'm putting the whole bench in. I'll let the 5 try come back from this as we see another bucket from the Kāhu. At some point, they're going to call up the dogs, or maybe not. Jody Cameron likes to make statements.
And that's Asia Anderson's second bucket of the afternoon off the bench. Zagra looks for her first field goal. It's been a tough old afternoon for the Whai import. That one's going to evade Crystal Ledger-Walker and go back the way of the Whai.
Just a little surprised that Crystal Ledger-Walker chased that one down. Nobody touched it. Would have stayed Kāhu ball, but there is no quit in this squad right now. They are chasing everything like it's the last ball they will ever see. This is exactly the kind of intensity you'd love to have as a coach, as a fan, from a team that's up like this. There's no quit in them whatsoever.
Just waiting for a bit of clarification here. Don't think the attempt touched the rim. So 8 seconds is going to be put on the shot clock here for the Whai. 49 seconds to go in the third.
Excellent work by the officiating crew to talk that one out, realize the ball didn't hit the rim, and keep the shot clock down low.
It's worth reminding our viewers as well, as Cowling nails a 3. We do have the review system in play for the GJ Gardner Homes Tauihi Final 4. Yet to be used here, but great to see that technology on offer if needed. Thomas, Wilson in front. Can't get that one to go. She's been so good down there, Amari Thomas. Shot clock is off. Wilson to Kitasome. Oh, dummy move, Jade Kitasome, nice touch.
Well, I like that penetration by Wilson. Drew all the defenders in, kicked it back out, then Kitasome does the same, gets the kiss off the glass for 2.
Ledger-Walker with the clock winding down, and that'll do it for the third quarter. It's the Kāhu put their foot on the gas again. They lead by 25, 76 points to 51. Welcome back to semi-final number 1 between the Kāhu and the Whai. And it's the Kāhu, the top seeds, who lead by 25 as we take a look there at the Tokomanawa Queens, getting ready to go in about 40 minutes against the Southern Hoiho. In case it's easy to forget too, it was a tied ball game at quarter time, but the Kāhu have just been relentless in the last 20.
Yeah, what a turn of events since then. Held the Whai to 13 points in the second quarter, 16 points in the third. Well, their scoring has been continually going over, and we've got Coach Jody Cameron with us now. Coach Cameron, in this game, you are really pushing your starters throughout this one. What do you like from your team's attitude and execution so far?
You know, it's semi-finals basketball and just the discipline. We've been lacking discipline in our last games, but that comes through, you know, our team effort to be cohesive. So we've been really working on that connection piece. Didn't like that one, though.
Kia ora, Jody. Is there a situation in this fourth quarter where you start looking to your bench a little more with that grand final in mind, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, I think we started that, you know, knowing our players and what they want this as well. And we're just trying to work on combos, and that's just come at a cost sometimes. But you know, it's a bit of a drop off for us in a sense, but and then the pressure to, you know, put those people in place. And look, the starters want it, and they know what's at stake. We've talked about it, and we're just trying to work on working together. So, you know, we're looking at something different here, if you've noticed.
Indeed. No, the starters have been outstanding. Thanks so much for your time, Jody.
Cheers.
Yeah, well, starters always want it. Nobody wants to come off the court. It's the coach's job to say, and not to coach from the back seat for Jody Cameron, but it's the coaches that needs to look at it and say, look, we're up 27. We've got a game tomorrow. Why don't I just put the bench players in and see if we can't keep this lead? You have to protect the players from themselves, because if you let them, they'll go out there with a broken leg.
As Reed fires away, and another dagger from 3. 25 points now for Tara Reid.
What a performance from Tara Reid. Some of her best basketball of the season here in the semi.
Response there, though, by the fight. Michaela Cowling. McKenna Dale back out on the court.
Yeah, you got to go. McKenna Dale so key to this team on both ends.
And now it's a three-point party for the Kāhu. They barely shot a 3 in the first 3 quarters. Back-to-back trays now. Tess Madgen gets in on the party.
Well, how about how comfortable the Kāhu look playing at pace is Tess Madgen and McKenna Dale having words to one another. Tess Madgen doesn't think it's a good call. She's dropping off some words to McKenna Dale as she walks by her at the TAB as well. This is one of my favorite things from a week ago. These teams, I don't know if they really like each other.
Well, it's a bit of a northern derby, isn't it? The Kāhu and the Whai. You'd love to see it as Dale connects on the first. Davidson checks back in, starter for starter, as Madgen takes a seat for the Kāhu.
And is that just the 4th free throw for the Whai? Now free throw number 5. They have 10 less makes. They're 5 for 5. They're perfect from the line, but 10 less makes, 15 less attempts than the Kāhu right now.
Certainly all adds up in a 29-point ball game. See there though on Reid, who gets it back, and now Asia Anderson can't get that one to go. Alia Wilson certainly pushed the pace in the second half as Dale flies away from 3. And that's her shot.
Jimmy is pure. 4 for 7 from behind the arc now. Doing it from deep, scoring up to 18 points.
Well, she had 33 on Monday when these two teams met in the final game of the regular season, including 6 threes. She's had 10 threes in 5 days against the Kāhu, but you feel like it's not going to be enough as we see another timeout here.
Well, there's never going to be any quit. You might as well give it a... They're 26-point down. Stranger things have happened in basketball. And this is a team that they can get hot from deep. They've got multiple three-point shooters out there. Yeah, you're going to have to make 9 of them in a row to take a 1-point lead right now. But still, it's possible.
Nothing's impossible.
What I always like to say as a player when I'd go out in moments like this is, you know what? Miracles happen. Maybe today will be one. Sometimes I even believed it.
And see the crowd getting in and amongst the Final 4 here in Porirua. Certainly building towards that second semi-final as well. The home team, the Tokomanawa Queens, looking to get back to the final and defend their title. And the Southern Hoiho stand in their way. That one in about half an hour. Still the Kāhu rolling with 4 or 5 starters. Fair amount of minutes in the end for Asia Anderson. Ledger Walker with it now, sending 2 at it, and it works. Alia Wilson with the easy 2, and she's up to 16 points.
I really like that half-court drop as Palis Okeonga comes in for the first time tonight, the Youth Player of the Year, getting the test finals basketball. Nice trapping action, trying to create something, but this is the problem. You create opportunities at the other end.
Fair bit of contact there. The whistle was away. Nina Davidson has 2 bites at the cherry. Can I get it to go?
Panina Davidson does not shy away from contact. She is okay fighting it.
Cowling fires away a 3. 32nd three-point attempt by the Whai. Made 9. As Thomas finds the open player, and that's Tara Reid up to 27 points.
I believe 27 was her season high. I'm not 100% positive, but what a performance in the semifinal. Tara Reid has just shown brightly as an offensive star and defensive star this evening.
9 from 13 from the field. 7 from 9 from the TAB stripe.
The strength of Panina Davidson defensively there. Dale just had no choice but to go to the fadeaway. She tried to step through, but the strength of Davidson keeps her going the other way.
Here is Davidson once more, trying to use that strength, but loses the handle. Harley Wilson, nice find to Michaela Cowling, just with one hand.
How about that catch and finish by Michaela Cowling, showing off the skill set that has delivered her All-Star 5 trophy this season.
So as you mentioned, Case, there's no quit in the fight. They'll go right to the end. It's just a tick under 6 minutes to go, down 24. Ledger Walker to Tara Reid in the corner. Shot clock winding down, and they get out of jail there with a whistle and a foul.
Excellent recognition of time and space. She's got that size advantage on the young Palasokianga in the corner, attacks the rim. Take another look at this beautiful catch and finish by Michaela Cowling. I mean, that is just impressive skills displayed there.
Oh, who needs 2 hands?
And then on the other end, it's the near and 1 opportunity for Tara Reid. Still has a chance to get up to 28 points now.
She had 26 and 7 against the Whai and 100-74 win. Doesn't mind a matchup.
How about this shooting
ladies in
stats
pink
for Tara Reid? 9 for 13 from the field, 2 for 2 from deep, 8 for 10 from the free throw line, making 9 for 11. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. That is a stat line.
She has filled up the box score, Tara Reid. Talia Wilson tries to find Flav on the corner. Dale fires away, may as well.
Well, she has great range. For my money, she's the best shooter in the competition. She is now 5 for 8 from deep today for 21 points. And those minutes when she was on the bench with foul trouble certainly damaged the Whai's chances.
They had words earlier in the ball game, and Tess Madgen says, "You like that 3? I'll come back straight away." And now hauls in a rebound. Tess Madgen just up to 28 points after a scoreless first quarter.
Well, 37 a week ago, 28 this week. So, you know, she's just able to average a lazy 34 or so against the Whai.
What an addition she's been to this Kāhu team as she finds Amari Thomas in the corner.
And that's what's so impressive about her game. She does it all. 28 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals.
And they're going punch for punch here. Sort of loosened up a little bit defensively in this 4th quarter, given the margin. Whai throwing some interesting defense at the Kāhu. The Kāhu find a way with the open player, and that one's Amari Thomas. She's up to 21 points.
They're moving very well without the basketball. Good at rim attack by Dale. Crystal Ledger Walker, that was clean as. I'll tell you what, that was a very clean steal.
The officials have not seen that one as we look at Ledger Walker finding the open player there, Tara Reid. Just so many strengths, this Kāhu team, such a collective effort. You look now at the scoring, with 3 players over 20 points, Reid with 29, Madgen 28, Thomas 21. Not to mention Panina Davidson, 14 with 11 rebounds, and then Crystal Ledger Walker and just chimes in, 4 assists, 2 steals, only
6 boards too.
6 boards, you know, and you just get it done in so many different ways.
It's impressive. I mean, they've put together an excellent performance. Impressive, as impressive as Tess Madgen's stat line. 8 assists, 0 turnovers with those 28 points. I mean, clinical. I didn't know her. I watched her game from afar with the Boomers, but not as aware of her, seen her up close. Everything that you hear about her is how professional is, how she goes about her business, and that stat line is a testament to it. No mistakes, always making the right decision and taking advantage of what comes in front of her.
And credit to her as well, coming back from a really nasty knee injury, could have been career-threatening, but to bounce back and come over here and play in Tauihi. She's been a serious addition. The Kāhu have not lost with Tess Madgen on the court, and that looks like it's going to continue this afternoon with 3:58 to play, and Whai coach Mel Bennett going to her youngsters here.
Well, letting everybody get a taste. I like it. I like it a lot. Palis Okeonga comes to the bench. Anika Highland checks into the ball game now.
Amy West as well.
Amy West, who's got excellent length, might be able to pressure Thomas, or maybe not.
Tough assignment, isn't it? Murray Thomas, she's done that to the best of defenders in this league. And the Kāhu have brought up 100. 29-point ball game. McKenna Dale fires away.
I think that's their third 100-point game in the last 5 outings. I mean, offense, oh, look at this. Look at that touchdown pass. It's NFL season. And Amari Thomas should be getting QB1.
Look out. Cowling now, no one in front.
Well, she's such a skilled player. I mean, it's an unfortunate end to the season for the Phi. They fought so hard to get into the Final Four. They've run into a buzzsaw today as Amari Thomas continues to pile it on.
26 now for Amari Thomas, including 2 from 3 from deep. She has gone deep into the bag in this one. McKenna Dale, she won't stop firing away from deep. Make that 26 for McKenna Dale. 6 threes.
60% from behind the arc. And if you are a Phi fan, you do rue those minutes where she was forced to the bench with those 5 fouls, 2 of them in back-to-back quick succession that limited her appearance in the third quarter when the Kāhu took control of the game.
Thomas doesn't connect on that 3, and then there's a whistle and a foul down low. That's going to go on Penina Davidson. She says, me? Yes, you. Just on McKenna Dale, I know we were talking pre-game about her potential tall ferns eligibility. Obviously spent a fair bit of time in the United States, but certainly you'd think after this season that she's put together will be on the radar of Guy Malloy.
Had the pleasure of hosting her on Hoophead's radio this week on SENZ. And we spoke to her about that. Is that one of her goals? And she said she grew up. That was one of her goals growing up. She's always wanted to do it. She's looked forward to it despite growing up in the States. It's always been in the back of the mind. And this performance this year, I'm sure Guy Malloy has been taking a lot of notes and saying, this looks like somebody we can have here in the near future.
Karasomi adds a 2. Tess Madgen's demanding to be taken out of the game with 2 to play.
Yeah, she's like, can you get me? Well, you got all these other subs in, as we did see the benches clear a bit for the Kāhu. Just Thomas and Madgen left in the starters as Jason Tinney, Tori Tamilo, and Aotea Leach have checked in.
Great work from Amy West to read that play. Here comes this young-looking Phi squad. Amy West just leaves that one short, and there's Tamilo. Potential there.
Well, Tori Tamilo had a huge game in this building earlier this year. Penina Davidson was unavailable, and she performed in a blinder against the Queens. So very comfortable on this court.
I feel like Tess Madgen's just saying there, if you're not going to take me out, Jodie Cameron, well, I'm just going to dribble the ball until I hear the shot clock violation.
I'm a little surprised when she saw the sub was coming in as Eliana Tuaiti checks into the ball game for her. If Tess Madgen would just sort of hack somebody. Get me out. Amari Thomas, she is not calling for a sub. Amari Thomas is happy to go out there, continue dropping buckets. Look at the stat line. 29 for Reed, 28 for Madgen, 26 for Thomas, 16 for Penina Davidson. Thomas has 10 rebounds as well, double-double for her and Penina.
You mentioned it too about Madgen, but 9 assists she finishes on and 0 turnovers. Just an absolute clinic by the Aussie Opal captain. Lovely finish there though by Jade Kurasomi.
It's a skilled Phi team, and it has been impressive. You know, halfway through the season there, they were looking like a team that might be out of the finals, but they worked so hard down the stretch to get that spot to beat out the Bullseye.
Short on the 3 there for Kāhu. It's Kurasomi once more. 8 points for her on the ball game. Just hauled in there by Highland, excuse me. Here's Hokianga now, Youth Player of the Year, or just short.
Youth Player of the Year, Rapid League MVP as well. That is a fantastic building block for a 25-year-old, much less a 15-year-old. I mean, when I was 15, I could barely get MVP on my video games, much less in a professional league.
I'm not going to say on national TV what I was doing when I was 15. I certainly wasn't playing professional basketball. Shot clock is off. Can the Whai finish with something for their faithful fans who have come down here from Tauranga in the Bay of Plenty region? No, they're going to dribble it out. A bit of respect being shown there by Alyssa Hirawani. The Kāhu are through to tomorrow night's grand final. An absolute clinic. 105-80, led by Te Rauparaha with 29, Tess Madgen with 28, and Amari Thomas with 26. What more can you say about this Kāhu squad, Casey Frank?
Well, the efficiency with which they played was so impressive. Just 13 turnovers against 21 assists. They shot 55% from the floor, 50% from the three-point line, 22 attempts at the line, out-rebounded their opponents 48-35. I mean, they're just locked in all aspects of the game. They're so talented, but they work so hard as well. And let's not forget, this is a team that's missing the defending MVP in Talia Tupaia. I mean, this is a team that was missing 25 points per game, and they are still playing to this level. They are just so impressive, and they just put on a performance today.
Certainly put on a performance. One of the players, the leading players of the Kāhu was Tess Madgen. She's standing by with Brooke Rusco.
Yeah, Tess, hell of a game from yourself. Slow start. You came in, you had 0 points. You ended up with 28, 9 assists, 0 turnovers. Hell of a game.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a really slow start. I felt really sluggish, so I think I was pretty nervous. So good to get those nerves away with those first terrible couple of shots. And then, you know, Te Ra had a bloody great game for us. So that kind of freed me up, I think, a little bit on the wing. On any given night, anyone on our team can go off, and we had like a lot of solid contributors tonight.
Absolutely. Now, one thing you knew you had to do is slow down the pace of this team. They want to get out, they want to run shots within the first 3-4 seconds, and you guys did that in the second and then in the second half as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big focus for us. I think, you know, the strength of our team is that we can play quick and we can also play slow. And, you know, most of the other teams play one way or the other. So I think that's a real strength of ours, especially going into tomorrow.
Well, speaking of tomorrow, how do you guys gear up? You've been around this game for a very long time. You know what it takes to win big games. How do you guys gear up for tomorrow?
Well, we're going to go have some good food now, rest up. Obviously, the coaches will give us a great game plan tomorrow like they gave us tonight. And, yeah, really looking forward to it.
I like it. You've started it already. Slow down there, warm up. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks.
Tess Madgen there as we take a look at her game. Casey Frank, as you mentioned there, quiet first quarter. She wasn't happy with a sluggish couple of shots, but she just warmed into this one and then took over.
Well, as always, I think she's being a bit hard on herself. She was delivering for her teammates in that fourth quarter, getting other people hot, and then when the opportunity arose, that's when she started to get her own eye, and you see how tough she is on the drive. Look at the handle, look at the step through, the footwork. She is just so talented. She goes about her business so professionally. This league is very lucky to have a player of that caliber.
Speaking of talent, Amari Thomas with 26 points and 10 rebounds. She's standing by with Brooke Rusco.
Yeah, another huge game from yourself. You must have enjoyed that inside, outside. Yourself and Penina did a really good job in the paint.
Yeah, it was really good. This was a super fun game, but we know the job's not done.
Speaking of the team that you guys have, you're like a Ferrari. You guys have so many stars across the board. You have 3 people with 26, but like Tess just said, anybody can get going on any given night.
Yeah, I mean, it really could be anybody, and I think that's what's made us successful all year, so we're going to try to keep that going tomorrow.
As I just asked Tess before as well, how do you guys get ready for tomorrow? Obviously, you don't know who you're going to play, the Hoiho and the Queens. The Kāhu were in the final against the Queens last year. How do you guys gear up for tomorrow?
We're just going to get some rest and recovery and then focus on our scout for tomorrow.
Speaking of that, how are the legs? You guys put in some big minutes tonight.
Yeah, we're fine. We came for a championship, so it is what it is.
Hell of a game. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Mari Thomas there. It is what it is in terms of the minutes. They'll rest up and regroup and go again tomorrow against either the Tokomanawa Queens or the Southern Hoiho. What stands out for you, though, here, Casey Frank, as we look at the stats?
Well, certainly the efficiency with which the Kāhu shot from deep, 8 for 16. That's not what they're known for. The free throws, that was my big watch out. If the Whai weren't able to lessen that discrepancy, I think it was 27 attempts to 14 attempts per game. Well, they had half their actual attempts. They only got to 7. They were just unable to make any inroads at the free throw line, so that's what got them. And then, of course, the rebounds. They dominated that area. Taking a look at the total score. This is the schedule we have upcoming, Nick Bewley.
Yeah, 15 minutes away. Will it be the Tukamanua Queens or the Southern Hoiho who will join the Northern Kāhu in the grand final tomorrow night? The Queens are the defending champs. Will they be back there in the decider? A very good Southern Hoiho side stands in their way. We're going to hand it over to another commentary crew. Come back in 15 minutes for the second semi-final.